From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the News Blast for this hour. Former federal officials and outside experts have warned for months that President Donald Trump's deep staffing cuts to the National Weather Service could endanger lives. After torrential rains and flash flooding struck Friday in the Texas Hill Country, the Weather Service came under fire from local officials who criticized what they described as inadequate forecasts, though most in the Republican-controlled state stopped short of blaming Trump's cuts. Democrats, meanwhile, wasted little time in linking the staff reductions to the disaster, which is being blamed for the deaths of at least 80 people, including more than 24 girls and counselors attending a summer camp on the banks of the Guadalupe River. The National Weather Service office responsible for that region had 5 staffers on duty as thunderstorms formed over Texas Thursday evening, the usual number for an overnight shift when severe weather is expected. Current and former National Weather Service officials defended the agency, pointing to urgent flash flood warnings issued in the pre-dawn hours before the river rose. This was an exceptional service to come out first with the catastrophic flash flood warning, and this shows the awareness of the meteorologists on shift at the National Weather Service office, said Brian Lamar, who retired at the end of April as the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Tampa, Florida. He went on to say, there is always the challenge of pinpointing extreme values. However, the fact that the catastrophic warning was issued first showed the level of urgency. Former federal officials and experts have said Trump's indiscriminate job reductions at the National Weather Service and other weather-related agencies will result in brain drain that imperils the federal government's ability to issue timely and accurate forecasts. Such predictions can save lives, particularly for those in the path of quick-moving storms. The situation is getting to the point where something could break, said Louis Uccellini, a meteorologist who served as National Weather Service director under 3 presidents, including during Trump's first term. The people are being tired out, working through the night and then being there during the day because the next shift is short-staffed. Anything like that could create a situation in which important elements of forecasts and warnings are missed. After returning to office in January, Trump issued a series of executive orders empowering the Department of Government Efficiency, initially led by mega-billionaire Elon Musk, to enact sweeping staff reductions and cancel contracts at federal agencies, bypassing significant congressional oversight. Though Musk has now departed Washington and had a very public falling out with Trump, those staffers he hired and the cuts he sought have largely remained, upending the lives of tens of thousands of federal employees. The cuts follow a decade-long Republican effort to dismantle and privatize many of the duties of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the agency within the Commerce Department that includes the National Weather Service. The reductions have come as Trump has handed top public posts to officials with ties to private companies that stand to profit from hobbling the taxpayer-funded system for predicting the weather. Project 2025, the conservative governing blueprint that Trump distanced himself from during the 2024 campaign, but that he has broadly moved to enact once in office, calls for dismantling NOAA and further commercializing the Weather Service. Chronic staffing shortages have led a handful of offices to curtail the frequency of regional forecasts and weather balloon launches needed to collect atmospheric data. In April, the Weather Service abruptly ended translations of its forecasts and emergency alerts into languages other than English, including Spanish. The service was soon reinstated after public outcry. NOAA's main satellite operations center briefly appeared earlier this year on a list of surplus government real estate to be sold. Trump's proposed budget also seeks to shutter key facilities for tracking climate change. The proposed cuts include the observatory atop the Mauna Loa volcano in Hawaii that for decades has documented the steady rise in planet warming carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere from burning fossil fuels. On June 25th, NOAA abruptly announced that the U.S. Department of Defense would no longer process or transmit data from 3 weather satellites experts said are crucial to accurately predicting the path and strength of hurricanes at sea. Good luck, Florida. Good luck, Louisiana. Good luck, Texas. You're going to need it. Removing data from the defense satellite is similar to removing another piece to the public safety puzzle for hurricane intensity forecasting, said Lamar, now a private consultant. The more pieces removed, the less clear the picture becomes, which can reduce the quality of life-saving warnings. In other words, more people are going to die thanks to Trump. We'll have more on this story in our evening news blast. Download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go. Up next, while we still have it, here's the Meadville area weather forecast from the National Weather Service here on PEP Radio.